Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of All Things Dodgers. My name is Alan Ruiz, huge Dodger fan, and I'm here to talk about the Dodgers' recent series against the Arizona Diamondbacks in Arizona. But before we do, please, if you haven't gotten the chance, subscribe to my channel, like this video, click on the notifications bell, leave a comment down below as well. What did you think of the Dodgers' recent series against Arizona? What are your takeaways? And before we get into the summary, I'd like to do another test your knowledge question with you. This time it's going to be about a player that we're going to talk about a little bit in this video, Joe Kelly, a recent pickup for the Dodgers at the trade deadline and an old friend. So here's the question. For how many seasons did relief pitcher Joe Kelly play for the Dodgers before his return this season? Is it A, 2, B, 5, C, 6, or D, 3? So take some time to think about that. We're going to come back to that at the end of the video. Well, in the Dodgers' recent series against the Arizona Diamondbacks, there were only 2 games, which is pretty unusual when it comes to the Dodgers' usual series against the D-backs, usually more than 2 games, but that's how the schedule turned out this season. Game 1 was on Tuesday. Dodgers took that game 5-4. Julio Urias earned the win. He went for a strong 6 innings, 0 runs, 4 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts, so some good things from him. Very encouraging start. David Peralta with a dazzling home run robbery. He, of course, played for the Diamondbacks for about 8.5 seasons, so that's his home in Arizona, and he showed it. He played like it. He took that home run away, kept the game in the Dodgers' hands. Ultimately, the Dodgers win that game. Then David Peralta showed up in Game 2 and hit the decisive 2-run single in the top of the 8th that eventually led to the Dodgers winning 2-0. Bobby Miller went a very strong 6+ innings, no earned runs, 4 hits, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Really a pitching duel between Miller and Diamondbacks pitcher Merrill Kelly. So good things from Bobby Miller. He's continuing to grow and develop as a big league pitcher in his rookie season. We're going to get into him and Julio Urias in just a minute. So good things from the Dodgers. The bullpen also was very strong and supportive in the Dodgers win both on Tuesday and on Wednesday. So what are my takeaways from this series? Well, I want to mention pitching. Number 1 is Julio Urias. Of course, he was dealing with that left index finger injury not too long ago. Not this last start against the D-backs, but the one before. He went, I believe, 5 innings. This one he went 6, so he's showing that progression. So far, his 2 starts in August, 0 earned runs, and that's what we want to see from the Uri Ace, as he's been called. He has turned into the ace of this Dodgers staff, him along with Clayton Kershaw. And so, of course, Urias is known for being a second half of the season pitcher, right? So after the midseason All-Star break, he's known for kicking it in gear, and we are definitely seeing that in August with the 0 earned runs. And so definitely a trend that we want to see continue as he continues to develop, continues to work his way to becoming the ace that we know him to be when he needs to be, which is in the postseason. Bobby Miller is also developing, kind of on the opposite end. He is a rookie pitcher. He hasn't been around for very long, but he has shown up, and he has really stepped in for this starting rotation for the Dodgers. With Clayton Kershaw going down, Dustin May going down, Buehler missing from the rotation, Bobby Miller has been a stabilizing force. He has a 3.89 ERA this season, and he's had some trouble going through the third time around the lineup. So 4th inning and onward, he has struggled in the past, but he has gone more than 4 in previous starts. In this most recent one, he went 6, trying to go through that 7th inning, but he did get a couple runners on base, so they took him out. You could tell he was frustrated, but just you can see the development, and he's sticking around. He's going to be part of their postseason rotation, and I can't wait to see as he continues to develop with the pitch mix, the sequencing, and just to see how he complements his 100-mile-per-hour fastball with his other secondary pitches. Now, Clayton Kershaw, we mentioned him with his injury. He's actually returning to the rotation tonight against the Colorado Rockies, and this is exactly what the Dodgers need. He's the real stabilizing force of this rotation. He is their true ace, 2.55 ERA this season. He had that left shoulder injury in June, and it's interesting. Juan Toribio recently wrote an article and mentioned that in July, which is a full month without Kershaw. The Dodgers starting rotation ERA is 6.18, and he noted that that is the worst it's been since the team, have moved to Los Angeles. So it just goes to show how pivotal Kershaw is in that rotation, the role that he plays. You know what you're getting from Kershaw. You're getting 6 or more strong innings, possibly a high strikeout rate with that amazing, so effective slider and the curveball, which is what he's known for. And he's just such an effective pitcher. He's truly a Hall of Fame pitcher, and he brings some extra life to every time he gets on the mound and even in the dugout. So I'm so happy that he's back, and we're going to get into that Rockies preview. But just wanted to mention that overall, there were some concerns not too long ago with this rotation, but it seems like things are looking up for this Dodgers rotation with the good performances from Arias, Miller, Buehler possibly coming back in September, and of course the return of Clayton Kershaw tonight. Now the bullpen was also one of the concerns, but I want to focus on 2 guys. One I mentioned was Joe Kelly, but before we get to him, Ryan Brazier. He played 20 games in Boston with the Boston Red Sox this year. 7.29 ERA. That is not a good number. He gave up 18 earned runs. But then, the Dodgers acquired him about 2 months ago, I'd say. He's also played 20 games in that time with the Dodgers. 1.29 ERA. 4 earned runs. I don't know what it is, but Mark Pryor and his staff, the pitching coaches, they do something to these pitchers to really turn around their careers and make nothing into something. And this something with Ryan Brazier can be, well, really, Brazier's a veteran. He won the World Series with Boston in 2018. He knows how to win. He brings that veteran presence in the bullpen. So if he can back that up with his strong performance out there on the mound, you've got a great piece coming out of that bullpen. And I had heard his name, didn't know much about him, but the way he's performed, I really trust him coming out of those bullpen gates when he takes the mound in the later innings of a game. So he's become a very strong piece for the Dodgers. I look forward to continuing to seeing him with his success. Now, Joe Kelly, if you remember, he was with the Dodgers. I'm not going to say when, because that's part of our trivia question, but he did return to the Dodgers in the trade package that also sent Lance Lynn to the Dodgers this past trade deadline. So how has he done? Well, he's played in 4 games for the Dodgers, and he fits right back into that bullpen, right where he was when he left. He's a hard-throwing righty with lots of movement on his pitches. Obviously, his fastball, he uses that for about 44% of the time this season, averages around 99 miles per hour. He also has a slider and a curveball, but his K rate is what I really love about Joe Kelly. He's in the 96th percentile when it comes to strikeout rate. And whiff percentage, how often he misses bats, 81st percentile. Well, one of the major commentaries about the Dodgers bullpen was that they don't miss bats. You know, the first pitcher that comes to mind is Brusdar Graterol. He's got that 101 mile per hour fastball, and the secondary pitches, I think he has a slider, but there's not much swing and miss involved there, and that was creating some problems for the Dodgers bullpen. But with Joe Kelly, he wasn't putting up great numbers in Chicago, but the Dodgers front office, they saw what he's able to do, which is strike batters out, and they said, that's what we need, and he is doing exactly that for the Dodgers. According to his stats, 0 earned runs with the Dodgers this season. So far in his 4 appearances, 7 strikeouts. So 7 strikeouts in 4 games for the Dodgers so far this season. It's a pretty good number. And so Joe Kelly, I think, is a great pickup. It's making the front office look very smart, very strategical. So good move in my opinion. So that was my takeaway for the rotation and also the bullpen. Pitching's looking good for the Dodgers, which was one of their weaknesses not too long ago. So things are looking good on that front. Now heading into the Rockies series, it's going to be a 4-game series starting tonight, ending on Monday. Game 1 is going to be a left-handed pitcher, Ty Blach for the Rockies. So we'll see how the Dodgers do once more against a left-handed pitcher versus Clayton Kershaw on his return. Game 2 is going to be Austin Gomber going for the Rockies versus Lance Lynn, his 3rd Dodgers appearance after the trade. Then Game 3, Peter Lambert versus Tony Gonsolin. And then Game 4, Chris Flexen for the Rockies. It will be his Rockies debut. He got traded from the Seattle Mariners versus the Dodgers' Julio Urias. So this game is at home. Love to be back at home in LA. Looking for some good things from the Dodgers. Well, time to revisit our Test Your Knowledge question. Here we go. It's about Joe Kelly. Here it is. For how many seasons did relief pitcher Joe Kelly play for the Dodgers before his return this season? A, 2, B, 5, C, 6, or D, 3? The answer is D, 3. Joe Kelly won with Boston in 2018, the World Series, then came to the Dodgers for 2019, then won with the Dodgers in 2020. 2021 was his last season, went to the Chicago White Sox, and now he is back. And we love for him to be back. We're loving what we're seeing from Joe Kelly. So thank you everyone for sticking around for another video, another series summary. If you haven't gotten the chance, please subscribe to my channel, leave a like on this video, click the notifications bell, leave a comment about your takeaways from the Dodgers' past series against Arizona, and I will see you next time on All Things Dodgers. Again, my name is Alan Ruiz, and go Dodgers!